What is up, guys? Delboy here. A quick preview of the big fight down under between Jeff Horn and Anthony Mundine. A big fight down under, and one, I've got to be honest, I'm actually kind of looking forward to. It's a weird fight. I mean, as we know, Jeff Horn is a welterweight. He was the former WBO welterweight champion, whereas Anthony Mundine has fought as high as cruiserweight. And for me, his best days were at super middleweight, to be quite honest. So for these two guys to be even squaring off, it's kind of crazy, to be quite honest. And like I said, I'm somewhat looking forward to it. I think it's a good style clash. You know, Jeff Horn, he's an aggressive guy, roughhouse guy, likes to get up close, work the body. You know, he'll lean his head in there as well. He'll use a few elbows. Jeff Horn is a proper, no-nonsense fighter, and he's pretty decent, to be fair. Anthony Mundine, for my money, is more of a classical boxer. He'll like to use his jab. He'll like to use, you know, straight punches. He'll like to use his feet. He'll try and keep you at bay and outbox you. Mundine does have quite good athletic ability, and he tries to utilise that. So in that sense, I think it's a good style clash. You've got the brawler in Jeff Horn versus the boxer in Anthony Mundine. Now the weight, this fight I believe is taking place at 156 pounds, I want to say, around 71 kilograms. You would imagine the weight will favour Jeff Horn despite him moving up. You know, Anthony Mundine, as an older man, has to cut a lot of weight, and you would imagine that it can't be easy for him at this stage of his career. I know he's went up and down the weight classes in the past, but, you know, as a 43-year-old man, surely we're getting to the point now where, you know, it's a hard task. And that will favour Jeff Horn. Jeff Horn doesn't have to worry about killing himself to make the weight. And again, for a guy who relies on his strength and relies on his aggression, relies on work rate, that is going to favour Jeff Horn, the fact that he doesn't have to deplete himself, you know. His style requires a lot of energy, and the fact he's not really cutting too much weight will really favour him, in my opinion. I think Mundine will try to utilise his superior height and reach. He'll try and pop that jab and keep Jeff Horn at range. And I think that style will actually give Jeff Horn problems. But can Mundine maintain that for a 12-round fight? I don't think so. After a while, I would expect Jeff Horn will start to get up close. He'll start to work Mundine on the inside, and he'll start to pick up the rounds. Also, I wouldn't be surprised to see Jeff Horn hurt Mundine on several occasions. You know, I think the weight cut again will affect Mundine's punch resistance. I don't think Mundine's chin was world class to begin with, and this weight cut will not do it any favours. So I can see Jeff Horn getting to Mundine as the fight wears on. I could see Horn hurt Mundine down the stretch. I could see Mundine get dropped a few times. I just think the younger man in Jeff Horn will work Mundine. I actually feel Mundine is a more talented boxer, believe it or not, but, you know, he's too old. He's 43 years old. The weight cut will not do him any favours, and the younger man in Jeff Horn will get up close, will work him on the inside, will throw those overhand shots, he'll work the body, and Mundine just will not be able to keep up with that type of pressure. And, you know, he'll either get outworked and lose a points decision, or he may even get stopped. I don't think Mundine now can compete with guys who are in their primes, operating at a decent level, to be quite honest. Let's look at Mundine's last few fights against guys who were in their primes and operating at a respectable level. So you've got Charles Hatley, who is a fringe level super welterweight contender. Charles Hatley, you know, beat the hell out of Mundine and stopped him. We then have Sergei Rabchenko. Mundine actually won that fight by a split decision, but that fight was very close. Rabchenko is a European level operator, as far as I'm concerned, and that was life and death. And before that, he fought a past his best Joshua Clottey and lost a lopsided unanimous decision where he was dropped several times. So, listen, I don't think Mundine can really compete here against the younger man, despite him being bigger, despite him being longer, despite him maybe even being the better athlete. I cannot see him competing with Jeff Horn, to be quite honest. I see Jeff Horn winning this fight by a lopsided points decision or a late stoppage. You know, Mundine's a funny one because I would have liked to have seen him actually travel to America to train full-time early in his career. Because I've always felt, for a guy who started boxing late, I always felt he displayed quite a good bit of talent. You know, it's clear he's already a good athlete, and he picked it up quite quickly. As I said, I know his dad was a famous boxer down under, but if you believe his story, he didn't start boxing till late, and for a guy who started late, like I said, I do think Mundine always showed good talent, good movement, you know, decent technical ability. I would have liked to have seen what would have happened if he stepped outside of his comfort zone early on in his career. Would it have panned out any different? Would he have been a better fighter? I've always wondered about that, you know? But, yeah, I'm getting off into a tangent. Jeff Horn versus Anthony Mundine. I have Jeff Horn by a lopsided decision or a late stoppage. Share your thoughts below. Peace.